Alright, Phil Singer Game Wrestling fans, we are live. 5 big matches coming at you tonight from my National Wrestling Commission Legends of Wrestling Universe. In our opening bout, we've got Gus Sonnenberg versus Everett Marshall. Directly after that, we have Red Berry versus Danny McShain in McShain's debut. Then we have newcomer and up-and-comer Thesz will be taking on his mentor in Strangler Ed Lewis. And then we have a women's championship match between champion Mae Young and challenger Mildred Burke. And then in our main event, we will see 2 top contenders go at each other for the right to face the Great Gama on card 4.8 for the NWC World's Heavyweight title. We'll see Dick Shikat taking on Joe Stecher in what should be a great match. They have fought before. I think they fought a couple of times before, actually, and have split wins. So it's not like any one of them is dominating the other as far as previous encounters go. And Gama, the Great Gama, has been pretty unstoppable as champion. So it will be interesting to see 2 former champions. Shikat was a former NBBW World's Heavyweight Champion before Ed Lewis unified that with the NWC World's Heavyweight title. And Stecher was the inaugural NWC World's Heavyweight Champion. So that should be an interesting match in the main event. But before we get to that, we've got to get through our opening cards, or our undercard. And to do that, we need to set up this opening match here, which is going to see Gus Sonnenberg, who's been sort of a journeyman for me here in National Wrestling Commission, take on Everett Marshall, who has played a lot less of a role than I intended him to when I brought him in. He's been sort of floundering in the mid-card. I think sitting about 500 wins and loss-wise, so hopefully we'll see something better out of him tonight against Gus Sonnenberg. We're going to roll for initiative here. Marshall is blue, Sonnenberg is red. And both of them roll low, but Sonnenberg rolls just a little bit higher and will be taking over on offense first. Sonnenberg with an arm lock on Everett Marshall. And Marshall is dazed by that arm lock. And now, Sonnenberg goes from the arm lock to the arm drag. And that also dazes Everett Marshall as he hits the canvas and pops back up a little woozy. And Sonnenberg chases him down, hits another arm drag on Everett Marshall, which dazes him yet again. And now Sonnenberg going to throw him into the ropes. And we are using the vintage ropes charts here. And Marshall has a B ropes rating. So B, what is that, a B6? B6. The opponent backs into the ropes, and you both break clean to the applause of the crowd. Roll again for initiative. Highest roll takes over on level 2 offense. So they're going to roll again for initiative. And this time it looks like Everett Marshall gets the upper hand out of the lockup. And Marshall with a grinding headlock on Gus Sonnenberg. Sonnenberg is dazed by the ferocity of the headlock. And now Everett Marshall gonna back Gus Sonnenberg into the ropes. Sonnenberg has an A ropes rating. So this could be bad for Everett Marshall, that is an A7. That's going to be the exact same thing we just saw, so the two wrestlers back into the ropes. Referee calls for a clean break, and the two wrestlers break clean, and now they're locking up again. And this time it's Sonnenberg taking control out of the lockup. And Sonnenberg with a shoulder butt to the stomach on Everett Marshall. And that, unsurprisingly, is going to daze Everett Marshall, who is doubled over now. And Sonnenberg with an arm lock. And that hurts Everett Marshall. Really wrenching that arm there. And so now, Gus Sonnenberg with a Beal throw on Everett Marshall. Out of that arm lock, he just tosses him across the ring. And that is going to leave Marshall down for Gus Sonnenberg. And Sonnenberg keeps on the attack. He could throw Marshall out of the ring. He's not going to, so we're going to roll up. And now Sonnenberg with another Beal throw on Everett Marshall. And that is going to lead to Marshall being pinned. So Marshall needs to roll 3 or better to kick out. And he does. And now Sonnenberg will continue his attack. And Sonnenberg with the leg scissors on Everett Marshall. And this is also going to lead to a pin. So Marshall's shoulders are down. He needs a 4 or better to kick out. And he does successfully kick out and continue the match. Sonnenberg going to continue the assault here. And Sonnenberg throws him into the corner and then tackles him. And that hurts Everett Marshall. And Marshall. Sonnenberg going to back him into the turnbuckle here. And Everett Marshall has a B turnbuckle rating. And that is a B8 into the turnbuckle. So the referee orders a clean break. The opponent backs off and you step out of the corner. The opponent steps to the side and grabs an outside single leg takedown. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So Sonnenberg with that outside single leg on Everett Marshall, putting him down. And now Sonnenberg with a shoulder butt to the stomach. And that is going to daze Everett Marshall as he doubles over from that shoulder attack. And Sonnenberg now with an arm drag. And that is going to daze Everett Marshall once again. And now Sonnenberg going to throw Marshall back into the ropes, or back him back into the ropes. And that is a 6B. And a 6B into the ropes is the initiative roll. So both wrestlers break clean, and they're going to lock up again to see who takes control of the fight. And this time it is Everett Marshall taking control here. And Marshall with a big body slam on Gus Sonnenberg. And that puts Sonnenberg down, and Sonnenberg pops back up, holding his back. He is hurt. And Everett Marshall with a crossface hammerlock. This is a choice situation. So he applies that crossface hammerlock. And now he's got choice E. And E is either a rolling knee bar or a forearm uppercut. The knee bar is a level 3 move and works on 8 or lower plus or minus agility. And the other one is 8 or lower plus or minus power. Sonnenberg has a -1 for both. So obviously we're going to try the knee bar. So Everett Marshall going to attempt to knee bar Gus Sonnenberg. He needs a 7 or lower. And he does not get it. So Sonnenberg takes control of this fight. And Sonnenberg with a crotch ride. And now, that is not going to do it for Everett Marshall, who counters the amateur wrestling move and starts an attack of his own. And Everett Marshall with a fireman's carry. And that's going to leave Sonnenberg hurt as Marshall continues his attack. And Marshall with a headlock and punch. And that is going to hurt Sonnenberg as well. That punch knocked him loopy. And here we are seeing Everett Marshall come in. He's gonna back Sonnenberg into the turnbuckle. And Sonnenberg 3B on the turnbuckle. As you and your opponent are tied up, you back into the corner. The referee orders a clean break, but your opponent takes a wild swing at your head. Luckily, you duck the shot and drive into your opponent with a powerful double leg takedown. Roll on level 2 offense. So Sonnenberg with a big double leg, putting Marshall down and allowing him to take control of this fight. And Sonnenberg with a shoulder butt to the stomach. And that is going to hurt Everett Marshall. 3 there. And that is another back into the turnbuckle. Everett Marshall has a B turnbuckle rating as well. And that is going to be a B8 into the turnbuckle. Here we go. The opponent orders a clean break. The opponent backs off and you step out of the corner. The opponent steps to the side and grabs an outside single leg and rolls on level 2 offense. So Sonnenberg with the outside single leg takedown. He's going to be rolling on level 2 here. And Sonnenberg with a crotch ride. And that one takes Marshall down and hurts him. And Sonnenberg with another Beal throw, viciously throwing Marshall around the ring. And that leaves Marshall down. So Sonnenberg with an armbar and half Nelson. That's going to hurt Everett Marshall. And Sonnenberg now looking to back him into the turnbuckle one more time. And this is a B12. As you back your opponent, as you and your opponent are tied up, you back into the corner. The referee orders a clean break, but your opponent takes a wild swing at your head. You are knocked for a loop. Roll on level 3 defense. So Marshall knocked silly by Gus Sonnenberg, who returns the favor and throws a wild punch that Marshall tried earlier, but Sonnenberg was able to dodge. And now Sonnenberg is knocked loopy. And Sonnenberg is hurt. Marshall is hurt. And now we've got Sonnenberg. I'm going to roll up because he just rolled another turnbuckle. So that's not what we want to see. And Sonnenberg with an into the ropes this time. So Marshall has a B ropes rating. This is going to be a B9 into the ropes. You and the opponent break clean. As the opponent backs up, you step towards the opponent and he grabs you in a quick fireman's carry. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So Sonnenberg with a fireman's carry on Everett Marshall. And Everett Marshall is down, or is hurt by the fireman's carry. And Sonnenberg with that Beal throw again, hurting Everett Marshall. And I'm going to throw my die all over the place. Here we go. Found it. And so that was a Beal throw. That's a level 3 move, and that left Marshall down, hurt. So we're going to level 2 offense. Sorry, I had to remind myself after throwing the die around. And another into the turnbuckle. We're going to roll up again. We've done a lot of turnbuckle action this match, so let's see what happens here. We've got a shoulder block. This is a power move, and Sonnenberg does have the power, so it is going to work. And that is going to leave Marshall down after that big shoulder block. And there it is. Gus Sonnenberg with a flying tackle. Sonnenberg does have a mechanic on the flying tackle that says roll 2d6. On doubles, Sonnenberg mistimes the tackle and sails out of the ring. Roll pin for a countout. If no countout, opponent takes over on level 2 offense. On roll of 7, momentum carries the opponent out of the ring. Opponent rolls pin for countout. So let's roll 2 die here and see what happens. It is not doubles. And it is a 7. So that Sonnenberg nails Everett Marshall. And Marshall is going to roll pin for a count out. However, should I add the +2? I'm not really sure in this case. So I'm going to do it just because he hit him with his finisher. And it sent him out of the ring. So we need... That is going to be a 5 + 2, so that's 7. And he's going to... I roll twice for countouts here. He would be counted out that time. And Snake Eyes. So that ends that match. And Sonnenberg wins the match by countout after his patented flying tackle. Everett Marshall is not doing well as he gets up. I don't roll on the feud table quite yet. That is probably coming in the next year or the year after. It's still a little bit early for the feud table, which I feel is geared more towards like television era wrestling. So I don't really do it. But yeah, so that's going to end that one. And it doesn't look like there was very much on the way of fatigue there. Sonnenberg didn't take any. It looks like Marshall took 2 total. So that's going to be a 1-star match, and I'm going to go record this in our record-keeping software. And so we just saw Sonnenberg defeated Marshall by countout. After the flying tackle. And fatigue. And Sonnenberg had no fatigue. And Marshall had 2 fatigue. And that makes that a 1-star matchup. And we're on to our second bout of the evening. And the second bout is, of course, the debut of Danny McShain. He will be in the ring with Wild Red Berry. And McShain and Berry, in real life, have had some interaction with one another. They traded the world's junior heavyweight title back and forth a whole bunch of times. So definitely familiar with one another. In this universe, it is Danny McShain's debut match, so they definitely have not interacted with one another, but I'm sure they're familiar with one another. Both of these guys are 6'3", so we've got the pin token set up. McShain is going to be blue, Berry is red, and let's roll for initiative. And it looks like Wild Red Berry is going to take this one out of the lockup. And Berry, with a knee lift, that is going to hurt Danny McShain right off the bat. And now, Wild Red Berry with a reverse arm scissors. And that is going to hurt McShain again. And we're going to see the reverse arm scissors again. He keeps him applied, even as McShain reaches the ropes the first time. He just pulled him back and put him back on. And this time, McShain is down. McShain does have an A ring rating, so he is able to leave the ring. And he is going to. And that is a 7A out of the ring. You tumble through the ropes to the floor. The opponent holds the ropes open for you to return to the ring in a display of good sportsmanship. So, we're going to say that McShain powders out of the ring to catch his breath. Wild Red Berry holds the ropes open for him, for McShain to re-enter the ring, showing a display of good sportsmanship there. And Red Berry is on level 2 offense still. And Red Berry with a rope climb headlock takeover. And that is going to hurt Danny McShain. And this is going to see a full Nelson applied. Wild Red Berry is only a +2 power, and this is a power move. So McShain, even with his 0 average power, is able to outpower Wild Red Berry and take control of the match. And we are seeing a a drop kick out of Danny McShain. And McShain drop kicks Wild Red Berry, who is hurt. He catches all of them on the drop kick. And rolling cradle now from McShain on Wild Red Berry. And that is going to lead to Wild Red Berry being hurt. I just noticed that my Danny McShain card is not technically legal. I'm going to have to make some changes to that. McShain was one of the first bootlegs I ever made, so he's got some issues. And McShain with a side headlock takedown. Wild Red Berry is hurt. And McShain gonna toss him to the ropes, or back him into the ropes as it were. Wild Red Berry has an A ropes rating. This is an A8 into the ropes. So what we're gonna see is the opponent backs into the ropes. You both break clean. And McShain gonna back him into the ropes again. And Wild Red Berry rolls an 8. So this is a initiative roll again. And it does look like McShain wins this one again. And McShain with a figure 4 head scissors on Wild Red Berry. And this is going to be Red Berry countering. Able to slip his head out and jump all over Danny McShain. And Wild Red Berry with a rope climb head takeover. And that's going to leave McShain down. And Wild Red Berry could really do some damage here. And he does. Gilligan twist. This is a +1 finisher. So McShain is going to need to roll 5 or better to kick out. And he does, rolling a 6. And Berry continues his attack. And Wild Red Berry reapplies that Gilligan twist. And McShain able to kick out. He needed 6 or better, and he got it. So Wild Red Berry on the attack again. And this time with a giant swing on Danny McShain. And this is a choice F. So after the giant swing, where is the match going to go? Berry could attempt a single leg or a bear hug and trip. He's going to try for the bear hug and trip. Since McShain has a 0 on both things, it makes sense to do the stronger move. What is that going to work on? 8 or better, I believe. 6 or better. So 6 or lower will... And he does succeed. And that is going to be a level 3 defensive move for Danny McShain. And that puts McShain down, and he is now hurt. And Wild Red Berry comes back at Danny McShain with a full Nelson. And this is not going to work. McShain is too strong for Wild Red Berry to lock into that full Nelson. And McShain powers out and goes on the attack. And McShain with a side headlock takedown. And this is going to hurt Wild Red Berry. And then McShain with a figure 4 head scissors. And this is also going to hurt Wild Red Berry. And now Danny McShain throws that drop kick, catches Wild Red Berry right square in the jaw with both feet. And Wild Red Berry is sent reeling, but doesn't go down. And now Danny McShain comes in and applies the figure 4 head scissors on Wild Red Berry. one more time. And that is going to bring Wild Red Berry down. So Danny McShain with a pile driver. And this is a +1 finisher for McShain. So Wild Red Berry needs to roll 5 or better. And he does. And McShain continues his attack. And McShain with turnbuckle slams. Just driving Wild Red Berry right into the turnbuckle. And Berry able to counter those, turning it around on Danny McShain, slamming his head into the turnbuckle and taking control of the match. Wild Red Berry gonna back McShain into the ropes. And that is an 8B ropes. I believe that is the... no, that is actually the... you and your opponent break clean. As the opponent backs up, you step towards the opponent and he grabs you in a quick fireman's carry. Roll on level 2. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So Wild Red Berry with a fireman's carry on Danny McShain. And McShain is... oh, man, my nose is running out. Got allergies pretty bad here. McShain is really beat up here as Berry goes on the attack with an arm stretch and face stomp. And this is going to hurt Danny McShain. And McShain can't get out of that arm stretch, and Berry just continues to stomp his face. And this is going to lead Danny McShain to being down and hurt. He is roughed up here as Berry is on level 3 offense. And Berry with a lateral guillotine. This is a choice H. So this is either going to be a toe hold that's going to work on 7 plus or minus agility, which is 0, or an into the ropes. I'm going to go for the toe hold here. So 7 or less, and he gets it. And so McShain rolling on level 3. And that's a pin. So McShain rolls his pin. He's going to escape this submission. He's going to need to roll 6 or better to escape from the toe hold. And he succeeds. And now Wild Red Berry on the attack. And Wild Red with a Gilligan twist once again. And so now McShain needs 8 or better. And he does not get it. So Wild Red Berry wins with the Gilligan twist here in our second matchup. Danny McShain really was hoping to win his debut, but just couldn't get it done. And Wild Red Berry able to put him away. And we're going to enter this into a record-keeping software. So Berry defeated McShain via toe hold. Fatigue. Berry has 1. And McShain would have 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. Has 4. And that's 5, so that's a 2.5 star match. That's not too disappointing for a debut match. 2.5 stars. And that's going to do it for those guys. Our next match is going to see relative newcomer Thesz. And he's going to be in there against longtime former NWC World's Heavyweight Champion, Strangler Ed Lewis. Lewis was instrumental in helping to train and mentor the younger Thesz. So let's see how this match plays out. Thesz is a 5'2". Lewis is a 5'2". So let's set these pin tokens up and start it out. Thesz in the red corner. Lewis in the blue corner. And Lewis starts us out here. And Ed Lewis with a head scissors, and that's a power move. And he does have the power. So that is going to work. And Thesz is dazed by the head scissors of Strangler Ed Lewis. And now Lewis with a single leg takedown on Lou Thesz. But Thesz able to stuff that takedown attempt and go on the attack as Lou Thesz takes control of the match. And now Thesz with a side headlock on the Strangler, Ed Lewis. And that's going to daze Ed Lewis. And so Thesz with a forearm shot off the lockup. And Thesz takes advantage with a big drop kick to Strangler Ed Lewis. And Lewis is hurt. And it looks like Dave Little has joined us in the chat. Welcome. And Lewis is hurt from the dropkick by Lou Thesz. And Thesz is going to continue his attack with even more dropkicks. And this one only going to catch Lewis in a grazing manner as he's dazed by the dropkicks from Lou Thesz. And Thesz with a face lock and knee lift. And this is a power move, and he does not have the power. So as Thesz applies the face lock, Ed Lewis powers his way out before Thesz could hit that knee lift. And Lewis is going to take control of the fight. And here we see a grapevine and throw from Strangler Ed Lewis. And this is going to leave Lou Thesz hurt. Oop, that was a 6. I got some fumbly fingers. And so now Strangler Ed Lewis with the neck yoke. And that's going to lead to a pin on Lou Thesz. So Lewis neck yokes him into position. He needs a 3 or better to kick out. And wow, just barely gets it. Rolling a 3 as Lewis continues the assault. And Lewis rolls his Strangler's headlock. So he grabs the head of Lou Thesz and tries to strangle him out. And he needs a 4 or better to escape the Strangler's headlock. And he does not do it. So Ed Lewis makes short work of Lou Thesz in a fairly surprising match. I was definitely expecting these guys to be a little more competitive with one another. But that's just not the way the dice saw the match. And Strangler Ed Lewis picks up a pretty easy win over Lou Thesz. Go to my record-keeping software and enter the results here. We've got Lewis defeated Thesz via Strangler's headlock. And what do we got here? We have Thesz. He would have taken an additional fatigue. So Thesz took 2. Lewis took none. Fatigue. We've got Lewis with 0. And Thesz, he took 2. And that is going to be a 1-star match. And now we're moving on to our Women's World Championship match. This is the NBBW Women's World Championship. The current champion is Mae Young. And she will be defending against up-and-coming challenger Mildred Burke. In what could be the sleeper match of the night. You know, some people think that these women's matches are bathroom break or popcorn matches. This one promises to be much better than that, so don't go away. As we get these ladies set up, the champion Mae Young in the red corner, the challenger, Mildred Burke, in the blue. Dave Little says the Strangler's headlock is deadly. It is. I've had him reapply that hold. I think my record was like 6 times in a row to some poor wrestler. I can't remember who it was, but it was pretty devastating. And we're off on this match, rolling for initiative. And it looks like the challenger, Mildred Burke, going to win the lockup. And she is going to apply a twisting ankle lock. And this is an agility move, and they are tied on agility, so that is going to work. And it is going to hurt Mae Young. And Mildred Burke with a big suplex on Mae Young. And this has already put the champion down for a pin. She needs to roll 4 or better to kick out. And she does. And this is going to leave Mildred Burke in a very advantageous position. She could do some real damage here. And she locks in a full Nelson on Mae Young. And that is going to hurt Mae Young. And the full Nelson really being wrenched here. And now, Mildred Burke transitions from the full Nelson to an arm wringer. And that leaves Mae Young dazed and confused, as it does all of us, considering that is a very, very awkward transition. And Burke, with a snap mare on Mae Young, and that is going to get rolled through by Mae Young as she pops right back up and gets in the face of Mildred Burke, and takes control on a lockup here. And Young with a forearm smash. This is a power move. Unfortunately, Mildred Burke has the power advantage. And so Burke just kind of stares at her like, what are you trying to do to me here? And takes control of the fight. And now Burke with a grinding face lock. This is a choice F maneuver. So she applies the face lock. Where does she go from here? Burke could try a single leg takedown out of that face lock or a bear hug and trip. It's going to be more advantageous for her to try the bear hug and trip, which is going to work on 6 plus or minus the -1 power of Mae Young. So it's going to work on 5 or less, and it does not work. So Mae Young counters that face lock as she moves into the bear hug and trip and starts her own assault. And now Mae Young backing Mildred Burke into the turnbuckle, and Burke has an A turnbuckle rating. So it's an A5. And here we go. A5 on the vintage charts is: as you and your opponent are tied up, you back into the corner. The referee orders a clean break, but your opponent takes a wild swing at your head. Luckily, you duck and drive into your opponent with a powerful double leg takedown. Roll on level 2 offense. So Mildred Burke avoids being punched in the head by Mae Young and takes her down with a double leg. And goes on the attack. And now Mildred Burke going to back Mae Young into the ropes. And Young has a B ropes rating. And this is going to be a B10 into the ropes. B10. You and your opponent are locked in a clinch near the ropes. The opponent locks in an underhook and throws you hard to the mat. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. So Mildred Burke with that underhook throw on Mae Young. Really slamming her hard to the mat. And there it is, an alligator clutch by Mildred Burke. This is a +4 finisher. So that is really nasty. That's going to mean that Young needs to roll 9 or better to kick out. And she does not. She rolls the 3. So that is it. Mildred Burke really dominated this title match and is your new NBBW World's Women's Wrestling Champion, relieving Mae Young of the title. and probably starting what could be a reign to rival Ed Lewis, who held the NWC World's Heavyweight title for 2 years, or William Muldoon, who is going on 3 years as the Junior Heavyweight Champion. So, yeah, she's a pretty strong wrestler, so I think her reign could last for quite a long time. We're going to enter that one into the record-keeping software. Let's see, what is that? That is 2 fatigue for Young and none for Burke. So, here we go. We got Burke defeated Young via alligator clutch. Fatigue. Young had 2. Burke had 0. And with 2 fatigue, because it's a title match, it gets an extra star. So that will be a 2-star matchup. And we're on to our main event. The winner of this match will face the Great Gama on card 4.8, which is the next card. And this is going to pit Dick Shikat versus Joe Stecher. And both of these guys, like I have mentioned, are former world champions themselves. Shikat owning the NBBW World's Heavyweight title, which was unified with the NWC World's Heavyweight title by Strangler Ed Lewis. And Stecher is a former NBBW World's Heavyweight Champion and the inaugural NWC World's Heavyweight Champion. So Stecher has quite a pedigree on him. And we're going to see how these two do battle. I've mentioned before that this is not the first time that they have fought, and neither guy has dominated the other as far as wins are concerned. They've just kind of traded them back and forth. So hopefully this will be a good matchup. And what we are going to see here is a lockup. And let's see who wins off the lockup. And they tie. And when wrestlers tie here, the offensive level goes up by 1, and we roll again. So they will be starting on level 2 offense. And it's going to be Dick Shikat who takes control of the match out of the lockup. And Shikat with a short forearm punch on Joe Stecher. And that forearm punch is going to catch him. And Stecher is reeling. And Shikat. Oh, I can't remember what that was, so it's a 4 now. Shikat with a flying mare. And Stecher is going to roll through the flying mare, get up, and assault Dick Shikat. And Stecher going to lock him in an arm lock. And Shikat is dazed by that arm lock. That quick counter and attack by Joe Stecher. And Stecher, standing headlock, and this is an agility move. And Stecher does have the agility here, so that is going to work. And Shikat is hurt. And now, Stecher with a back in, he's going to back Shikat into the turnbuckle. Shikat has an A turnbuckle rating, so this may not go super great for Dick Shikat, or for Joe Stecher, but let's see here. A5. As you and your opponent are tied up in the corner, the referee orders a clean break, but your opponent takes a wild swing at your head. Luckily, you duck the shot and drive into your opponent with a powerful double leg. Roll on level 2. So Shikat avoids the punch from Stecher and is rolling on level 2 offense here. And now, Shikat with a leg split toe hold. And this is a level 3 move, and that is going to lead to a submission on Joe Stecher as he applies that toe hold in the center of the ring. So Stecher, needs a 3 or better to kick out, and he is successful. And now Shikat quick to relaunch his attack here and locks Stecher in some body scissors. This is Stecher's signature hold. Shikat obviously not as good at applying them as Stecher is, as Stecher has made a career out of the scissors hold. And now Stecher is dazed by Shikat's body scissors. And Shikat follows that up with an arm wringer takedown. And that is not going to get anywhere with Joe Stecher as he tries that arm wringer, and Stecher just turns it right around into his own arm wringer. And now Stecher applies that arm lock out of the arm wringer. And we are going to see Shikat move out of the arm lock into a hammer lock, and they break. And Shikat is on the attack. And now Shikat going to back Stecher into the turnbuckle. And Stecher with a with an A6, right? Nope, B6 into the turnbuckle. The referee orders a clean break. The opponent backs off and you step out of the corner. The opponent steps to the side and grabs an outside single leg takedown. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So that is Shikat with an outside single leg on Joe Stecher. And now Shikat with a flying mare, and that's going to daze Joe Stecher. And now Shikat with a standing side headlock after the flying mare. And Stecher is going to pop right out of that and take control of the fight. And Stecher with an armbar. And that's not going to go very far as Shikat counters it on level 2. And Shikat with a short forearm punch on Joe Stecher, and Stecher is hurt. And here we see Shikat with another short forearm punch on Joe Stecher, and Stecher once again hurt by the forearm shots of Dick Shikat. And now Shikat with a headlock takeover, trying to slow things down a little bit. And Stecher is going to say no to that as he's taken over with the headlock, but then pops right back out and stands up. And so now Stecher once again with that armbar, and once again Shikat says no. Pulls his arm away from Joe Stecher. And Shikat with a double wrist lock, choice F. So Shikat applies that double wrist lock, and what does he do afterwards? He's got a choice of a single leg takedown or a bear hug and trip. And the power is lower for Stecher. So I think that's what Shikat's going to do here. He's going to try the bear hug and trip 3, which is going to work on 6 or lower, plus or minus power, which is -1. So that's going to be 5 or lower. And that does not work, so Stecher takes over. And Stecher with a takedown and body ride on Dick Shikat. And Shikat says no once again. Counters that on level 2. So Shikat taking control here. And Shikat with a flying mare. And Stecher says no, countering it on level 2. And now Eagle split by Joe Stecher. This is a choice C maneuver. So he's got him in the Eagle split. He could let him up and try a duck under takedown or transition into a front chancery. Either or are going to be beneficial or going to have the same probability of working. So we're going to try the duck under takedown 3. It's going to work on 5 or lower. And that does not work, so Shikat taking control again. And Shikat with another short forearm punch on Joe Stecher. And Stecher is hurt. Those short forearm punches have been very effective. And a double wrist lock again from Dick Shikat. And he's going to try that bear hug and trip again out of the double wrist lock. Let's see if he can get it. And he cannot. And so Stecher taking control. And Stecher, once again with that eagle split. And this is the, what is it, the duck under takedown. This is also going to work on 5 or better. And he can't get it. So now Shikat taking control. And Shikat going to back Stecher into the turnbuckle. And that is an 8B turnbuckle rating. So that is going to be you and your opponent, or your opponent backs out of the corner and you rush towards them. They use your momentum to deliver an overhead suplex and throw you across the ring. The opponent rolls on level 3 offense. So Shikat throwing Stecher with the overhead suplex. And he's on level 3 offense here. And now Shikat with a leg trip and leg lock. And this is going to hurt Joe Stecher. And now Stecher stuck in a leg split and toe hold by Dick Shikat. And that is a submission for Joe Stecher. As it's in the center of the ring, Stecher can't reach the ropes. He's going to have to try to fight his way out of the leg split and toe hold that Dick Shikat has applied. He needs a 4 or better. And he gets it. And now Shikat going to continue his assault. And Shikat not going to throw him out of the ring. He's going to roll up here. And Shikat with another short forearm punch. And this is going to rock Joe Stecher again. Can't put him down, but definitely rocks him. As Shikat once again applies the leg split and toe hold on Joe Stecher. And this time Stecher able to grab the ropes and get to his feet before Shikat can do any more damage. But he is obviously hurt. And Shikat goes right back into that leg split toe hold. And Stecher is down. So this is going to be a level 3 offensive attack for Dick Shikat. And Shikat rolls the grounded arm lock. And this is a big one for Dick Shikat. It's his main finisher. This is a +1 finisher. So Stecher is going to need to roll 6 or better to kick out of this. And he succeeds. And Shikat is going to continue the attack here. And that's an out of the ring. He's not going to do that. He's going to roll up. And Shikat with another short forearm punch. And once again, it catches Joe Stecher solidly. Doesn't put him down, but definitely rocks him. And he is hurt. And Shikat delivers another short forearm punch on Joe Stecher. And Stecher is hurt again. And now Shikat grabs a headlock takeover on Joe Stecher. And Stecher is dazed. And Shikat with a body throw. This is a power maneuver. They are even on power, so this will work. And so this, well, it would work if Stecher was going to cooperate, but he doesn't. Stecher rolls through that throw, stands right back up, and goes on the attack. And Stecher with an arm lock on Dick Shikat. And Shikat is dazed. And now Stecher with a crotch lift and half Nelson. This is a power move. They are even in power, so this will work. And that is going to leave Shikat down. And so now Stecher could finally do some damage, maybe, to Dick Shikat. And, of course, he just rolls the double wing hold. And this is a choice D. So applying the wing hold. And he could transition to a hip lock or a crotch lift and slam. Power rating is equal to the agility rating, so he's going to try the power move, which is the crotch lift and slam. This is going to work on 7 or lower and will leave Shikat down. And it does work. So Shikat rolling on level 3 offense here. Or I mean 3 defense. And that does hurt him. And so Stecher. With a double wrist lock of his own, Shikat has been using a double wrist lock throughout the match, and now it's Stecher's turn. And Stecher can't get all of it, though, as Shikat is able to power his way out of it and reverse the hold. And now Shikat with a back heel trip, and this is a choice C maneuver. So after the back heel trip, he is going to attempt the front chancery, which is going to work on 5 or less. And he does not get it, so Stecher takes control of the match. And Stecher with a takedown and body ride. And this is going to leave Shikat down again. And so let's see if Stecher can do any real damage here. He's got an armbar and crossface on Dick Shikat. And Shikat is hurt. And then Stecher is going to back him into the turnbuckle. And Shikat has an A turnbuckle rating. So A7 into the turnbuckle. You are backed into the corner. As the referee orders a clean break, you grab the opponent and bowl them into the corner. The tables are turned. The opponent rolls on this chart. And Stecher has a B turnbuckle rating, so let's see what he rolls here. B9. That is going to be an overhead suplex from Dick Shikat. And Shikat is going to be on level 3 offense. And Shikat, he's going to throw Stecher out of the ring, finally getting frustrated. And this is a 8. And Stecher is a B out of the ring. So 8B. As you back into the ropes, the opponent shoves you out of the ring. The referee is upset with such a flagrant rules violation. Opponent rolls disqualification. If there is no disqualification, you regain your balance and crawl back into the ring. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. So Shikat might be disqualified here. He's got a 4 disqualification, and I do roll twice. So it is incredibly unlikely. And he is not. So Shikat is on the attack once again. And Shikat with a body scissors. And that is going to hurt Joe Stecher. And I am going to throw the dice on the floor. And now, a flying mare. Also going to hurt Joe Stecher. And that's another flying mare. Except this time, Stecher says you went to the well one too many times, and rolls through with a counter. And now Stecher going to back Shikat into the ropes. He's got an A rope, so A8 into the ropes. You and the opponent break clean. As the opponent backs up, you step forwards. And the opponent grabs you with a quick fireman's carry. Opponent rolled on level 2 offense. So Stecher still on the attack here. As now he's backing Shikat into the turnbuckle. And that is a 3. 3A turnbuckle rating. And that is not going to be good. Your opponent backs you into the corner. As they break upon the referee's instruction, you slip behind them, deliver a devastating waistlock throw. Roll on level 3 offense. So Shikat with a waistlock throw on Joe Stecher. And they are rolling on level 3 offense now. And it's just a body scissors. Nothing to get excited about, folks, but it does hurt Joe Stecher. And Shikat continues the assault with a headlock takeover. And Stecher says nope, as he pops right out and goes on the attack. And Stecher with a crotch lift in half Nelson. And this is a power move, and they are equal in power, so that will work. And we've got Shikat reeling from being hurt here. And a eagle split from Joe Stecher, and this is a choice C maneuver. So let's see what happens here. He's got him in the eagle split, and he's going to try the duck under takedown. And this is going to work on rolls of 5 or less, and that does not work. So Shikat counters that and takes control and applies a leg split toe hold to Joe Stecher. And that's going to leave Stecher hurt. And Shikat with a headlock takeover now. And that is going to hurt Joe Stecher. And now he's going to back Stecher into the turnbuckle. And that is an 8B. This is an overhead suplex from Shikat on Stecher. And Shikat will be taking back control on level 3 offense here. And here is a flying headlock from Dick Shikat. This is going to put Stecher down. It's a +1 finisher. So he will need a 7 or better to kick out. And he does not do it. Joe Stecher has been defeated by Dick Shikat in a lengthy back-and-forth battle. And Dick Shikat will meet the Great Gama on our next card for the NWC World's Heavyweight title. That should be an interesting one. I don't believe that Shikat and Gama have ever faced, even before they were champions, or even before the Gama had become the champ. So that should be an interesting matchup for our next card, which will be next week. I think I might try reusing the desktop application next week for at least one of the streams. I do plan on streaming on Thursday and Friday of next week. Like I said, at least one of them will be with the application. One of them will be tabletop. So join us then. You can subscribe if you want to be notified when I go live. Leave a comment, all that wonderful jazz. I don't really care if you like the video or all that stuff, because I'm not monetizing anything, and I don't need to gain the algorithm for that. So, but yeah, subscribe if it's something that you're interested in and you want to be notified when I go live, because that benefits you. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Thank you for watching the National Wrestling Commission. We'll catch you all